Hi, Rob Furman here, Senior Analyst at Catoosa Research. I'm here at the VRIC 2017 with Skyharbour's President and CEO and a good buddy of mine, Jordan Trimble. Jordan, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So it's been a really good show, lots of buzz. It's exciting to see everybody happy again.
Yeah, no, sentiment's changed a lot, and in particular with uranium.
Yeah.
The last month has been a big month for really, I think, a trend reversal in the uranium markets. As you know, we've been at it for a number of years now, so not an overnight thing. It's been a long time coming, but I think we're in a good position right now to take advantage of what we hope to be the next bull market.
Absolutely, and I think we should just get right into it and let's talk about Skyharbour and some of the exciting stuff you've got moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So Skyharbour, as you know, is a uranium exploration company focused in the Athabasca Basin. Really, our mandate over the last 4 years, 3.5, 4 years, has been to accumulate these projects in the Athabasca Basin at really distressed asset sales and valuations. We've been able to get our hands now on 5 projects, almost 250,000 hectares of ground, scattered throughout the basin, right on the east side, on the west side as well, and at various stages of exploration, right? It's not just all early stage grassroots projects. We do have an NI 43-101 resource. We have some high grade mineralization on our flagship project, Moore Lake. So really exciting portfolio of projects that we've been able to assemble, and now we're looking to get to work on them.
Yeah, it's exciting. And the Athabasca Basin is such a hotbed. I mean, it is the premier place to be. All the big boys are there. Yeah,
no, absolutely. I mean, look, we've looked all around the world, different projects, but really, the basin sticks out, right? Especially in a difficult market. You're in elephant country, right? You're looking for these high-grade deposits that even in a declining commodity price environment, you're still generating returns for your shareholders. I mean, look at NextGen, right? Look at Fission, look at Hathor. So, it's almost a bit of a hedge, if you will, against the commodity price weakness that we've seen, but we're hoping that will turn. I think it will. As I mentioned, these 5 projects we have, the Flagship Moore Lake, the project that we're going to be drilling here shortly, we're just acquiring from Denison Mines. Denison Mines is our largest shareholder with about 12% of the company. Their president, CEO, an important part of our team on the board of directors, David Cates. Radioactive Rick, who you met, right? Our head geologist, ex-Cameco for 13, 14 years, ran a company, JNR Resources, which he ended up selling to Denison. He's made multiple discoveries in the basin, knows what he's doing. The project Moore Lake was actually the project that he made the high-grade discovery at Maverick back in the early 2000s on him and his team at JNR. So we're getting back there. And what's great is we have a new look at this project, right? A lot of the drilling historically was focused in and around the unconformity, a little bit into the basement rock, but not a lot, right? So despite the project having had a lot of previous drilling, getting a pretty good idea of what we're seeing at the unconformity, in particular around Maverick, lots of upside potential in the basement rock, which is where most of the recent discoveries have been made. We'll go back in there with this new program that's commencing, test that basement potential, but also along strike. It's a big project, over 35,000 hectares, so lots of exploration upside on it.
District scale is important, doesn't matter the commodity.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about how you're going to fund this big program, because you have a big plan.
So as you guys know, we did the financing about 5 months ago, 6 months ago now. We raised just over $2 million. Marin Catoosa was obviously one of the larger placees there and one of our largest shareholders. So that brings the money in for this program. It's $1 million program, 3,500 meters in about 12 holes, which will again be commencing shortly. So that we're fully funded for that. We'll have $1 million left over after that. I don't have that earmarked for anything yet, but in all likelihood, we will be going back into Moore Lake in the summer and next winter. One of the things I would like to touch on too is having accumulated all these other projects as well. Falcon Point, as I mentioned, this project actually does have a 43-101 resource on it, uranium resource and a thorium credit. We own 100% of that project. It's a big property. It also has a very high-grade surface showing on it, 68% U3O8 at surface. We'd like to go drill test that at some point. These are projects, other projects outside of our flagship Moore Lake that we can now look to bring partners in on, right? So these are good ways, using other people's money to fund the exploration, bring in some cash and stock for Skyharbour. In fact, just recently, a project that we own out by Fission and NextGen on the west side of the basin. It's called Preston. It's a big property there. We just announced in December a binding term sheet for an $8 million earn-in, a company coming in that'll be spending that money over the next 6 years to earn in 70% of a portion of that project. So we still keep the periphery claims, we still maintain our exposure to this west side of the basin, and it also helps subsidize, if you will, some of the drilling that we'll be carrying out at Moore Lake by bringing cash in as well.
There's a ton going on. It's amazing. It's a testament to your management team, the technical guys, that you can manage all this.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on.
Absolutely. I mean, I mentioned Rick, Radioactive Rick, him and his team, they know these projects well. They know how to find the uranium. Rick will be overseeing this drill program. We also brought on Paul Matizik as a strategic advisor and a large shareholder. Yeah, absolutely. Dave Cates, as I mentioned, myself and Jim Pettit. So good management team, discovery driven. Rick and his team, they really know what they're doing up in the Athabasca Basin.
Yeah, it's going to be a great program for you guys. A lot of good catalysts. And I think what we should probably touch on briefly is the uranium market's changed a lot in the last little while. I mean, you had the world's largest publicly traded producer come out and pre-release earnings in a really unusual fashion.
Yeah.
I'd never seen it before.
I mean, we discussed this. It was a bit of a curveball, right? You don't typically see large mining companies issue that kind of a news release, but I think it tempered expectations, certainly, what the analysts were forecasting. And so, we saw all the stocks really pull back, but the resilience and the movement back up. And I think that's quite significant. What that's telling, at least me, is that the market right now is starting to understand how undervalued this sector has become, right?
Risk reward is there now.
Exactly. And so despite there being that pullback, it's bounced back a bit. Look, I really do believe we're at the beginning of this bull market, right? I don't see it overnight, doubling or tripling, but I do see it in the mid to long term. There are some very, very strong fundamentals underpinning uranium. We are still
Atomprom cutting production.
That was a big announcement
deal
out of Kazakhstan here in the last few weeks. That that their mindset's changed, right? Why do they want to mine their best reserve base at a loss, right? You got to remember, right now, even at $23 spot price uranium, there's one mine that's making money in the world, which is in Kazakhstan, right? When you look at the all-in costs of these mines. So, something has to give. We know there's a new contracting cycle coming up. In the next 7 or 8 years, you're going to have almost 90% the existing contracts expiring with the existing utilities. You got the new growth in China, in India, in other developing countries around the world. That's new demand that's coming online. Look, nuclear will continue to play an integral role in the global energy mix. It's clean, it's baseload power, it's safe, it runs at high capacity. It's something that you can't just ignore, and we see that, right? We're seeing that in these other countries. We will continue to see it in North America and Western Europe. We need jurisdictions that can provide safe supply of it. The Athabasca Basin, with the grades there, with the history in the basin, and in particular what excites me, the discovery potential going forward. I think that's where we're going to get it from.
Absolutely. I think it's a really interesting time to be a part of. You guys are ramping up. You've got a great team. I'm really looking forward to what you guys do in the next 12 months.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a lot going on.
Jordan, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.